Welcome to the pew, where we are sitting in this very hot day in June.
Our sweat lodge.
Our sweat lodge. It is, I have a feeling, going to get worse before it gets better.
I like it hot.
Yeah, I don't. So today we're going to be talking about the new issue of Ernie.
The new old issue.
Yeah, the new old issue. Everything old is new.
The club impresario Rudolph emailed us a scanned version of Project X issue number 1, all
One
the
of the
way
most
from
valuable things we own now.
Well, we don't actually own it because he sent us.
Is the image of issue 1 of Project X.
So it's on the Project X archive.
Give you an idea of.
You can look at it there, and we figured we'd devote this episode to talking about the genesis of Project X because this was the first issue, and that was the first question I wanted to ask you. You know, how did it come about?
Well, but there was a magazine before that, the Ace of Clubs. I don't know if you remember.
There's a commentary in Project X, the first issue, where it says, we're not associated with that rag anymore. So
well, does it mention it by name?
No, you just
okay, because there was another magazine called Court that I can't believe that you don't remember, with Queen Sheba. You don't remember Queen Sheba?
Vaguely.
Queen Sheba was the editor of Court magazine, and it was, as you can imagine, styled around a
courtly.
Court. Yes, and she was the queen. She was a queen, and that's why the magazine didn't make any sense, because of course everybody knew that Julie Jules was a queen. Or Julie knew that. Julie and I felt that we were the king and queen, and so Julie and I were part of Court, but so we were like the jester and whatever. We weren't in a position of any authority or any value that we thought. So we started our own magazine.
The jester and the concubine.
Yes, yes, exactly. So we started Project X, and but we didn't want to tell her or anybody else. So we kept referring to the magazine as our secret project, Project X. And then it just stuck. We would write Project X on the folders of all the paper that we would give Rudolph to show him the pages we were working on, and we just kept the name.
Yeah, and it wasn't a very high quality magazine, as you'll see when you go on the website.
Yeah. We only had an $800 budget.
How much?
$800.
All right, so for $800 you made a whole magazine. And the rest is history. Now, where can you get old copies of Project X? Where can the people
I'm surprised you asked. They can buy them. Well, can they buy them at the Project X site? Any of them?
They can't buy any of them on the projectxarchive.com because that's just the site where you can download digital copies of them so you can peruse them at your leisure.
I think we should change that today. I think we should put no.
Well, aren't they on your eBay?
No.
I thought you had.
It was just a 7-day auction. It's over, but I'll put them up.
Somebody bought it.
Yes, I will put them back up. I'll put
for sale.
Other issues up, yes. Should we put them?
Yeah, Michael has lots of issues of the magazine for sale, and
not lots actually. I only have like 2 or 3 issues of each. Copies of each issue.
Well, over the past 2 or 3 years since the projectxarchive.com has been up, people have asked if I'm selling Project X's, and I never had any. So
so we'll put it on that site.
All right, we're gonna put them there. Look for that soon.
Or michaelalig.com, one of them.
All right, so
we'll be rich. We'll be able to buy that loft back.
$2.1 million loft.
That's kind of what motivates me in life now. I'm driven because I want to get that loft back because I feel that it was taken from me.
Yes, by the
bank.
But it was. It's called foreclosure, darling.
Well, it was. I feel like it was taken from me
the mortgage.
Because it was taken from me.
When you spend all your money on heroin and not on mortgage.
And other things from roommates.
Well, I did.
But we will not discuss that. But we will not discuss that, except to say that I spent money on drugs from roommates. And Michael, now we won't discuss it anymore.
Michael,
at the end, we won't discuss it.
Yes, now we're going to get back to Project X.
But money from Ernie.
We are discussing Julie's Problem Princess column. Michael just wants to read a little snippet for your pleasure.
Julie Jules.
A dramatic reading.
Julie Jules was editor of the magazine. Editrix. And she also had Ernie wrote for the magazine, but you didn't come on until a few years later.
2 years later.
And he was actually one of the best writers. I think you were actually the best writer. You and Sloan was good on the staff. But you added some kind of a level of intelligence that the magazine didn't have in its writing until you came. But we basically wrote all of the articles ourselves using either fake names or real names. And Julie had this agony aunt thing, they call it in the UK. It's like a Dear Abby kind of questions, and and we didn't get any questions, so we had to write the questions ourselves. Yeah. So Rudolph thought that we used this as a way to get information out that we really couldn't say. So, like for instance, at the time they had just raised the drinking age from 19, I think it was, or 18, to 21.
Yes.
And it was causing a furor. Everybody was...
Mass confusion.
Yeah, because people, especially 17, 18, 19-year-olds were wondering, can I still go to the clubs? The irony is that when they raised the drinking age from 19 to 21, they actually, as a concession to the clubs, they lowered the age of admission, meaning you could now get into a club...
18.
No, 16.
No, 16.
It is.
Okay.
So what actually happened is, instead of now serving 19-year-olds, they're serving 14-year-olds, because when you can get in at 16, you can actually... A 14-year-old can sneak in. So there were 14 and 15-year-olds.
Like our cameraman, Scott.
Right. Yes, exactly. Our cameraman was coming to
14 at Disco 2000.
So that was just a weird unintended consequence. So anyway, but we needed to, in the beginning, at least look like we were paying attention to the law. So Rudolph suggested giving her wristbands to...
all that long-winded, lengthy explanation will be condensed into 2 sentences of Julie's problem princess question.
I got the tone of that statement, and it was necessary in order for them to understand the nuances of this.
I think they'll understand it.
Dear Julie, I came to you with my last problem. I don't know about that because there was no issue with that. I wanted to know about my boyfriend really feels about me and you advised me to get him drunk. It worked. Thank you very much. Now I have a new problem. I can't get a drink anymore in clubs. What's the story with these wristbands?
And stamps.
And stamps. And she says...
I want a drink.
She says, Dear I want, the clubs are doing this only to protect themselves and to continue existing so you can continue having fun. Those liquor authorities demand IDs. We all know that you're old enough to drink, as is everyone in the club, of course. But for everyone's sake, please get yourself an ID. And then Rudolph had us send everybody to this fake store in Times Square that made fake IDs.
The end. Yeah. We'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Pew.
So we're still on Project X, and one of the things that I really liked about Project X was the ads that we had, the fake ads. And I showed Michael this this article that we saw on Yahoo that was about chocolate bars causing weight loss. Some journalists created this fake article about how chocolate will make you skinny. So we remember...
That ad was fake?
Yeah, it was fake.
No wonder I've gained 2 pounds.
So we had an ad in Project X about how you could lose weight, and here it is. Scott's going to flash it on the screen.
And Ernie's going to explain it to you this time because I ramble.
Well, I think it's self-explanatory.
Oh!
So
I should be so lucky.
That was our ad back in the 80s for weight loss. But I guess our ad today...
I guess they all understand it. Don't need to talk about it. What's the need for the show and even turn the show off? Self-explanatory. No need.
Today's weight loss would be crybaby tears.
Yes, because they make my mouth hurt. So I get so many sores in my mouth that I can't eat.
Right, and the pounds
melt away. Along with your muscle
and mucous membrane.
So go out and buy yourself join the happy baby people and
a case of crybaby tears.
Make you happy.
Bitches want to know. Debbie Gibson, 22, loved the apartment condo that we used to live in. And
so did the bank.
And James wrote in his book that you went for 2 years without paying the mortgage. Is that true? And how did you manage that?
It wasn't 2 years, but it was close to a year.
Well, let me tell you, as a journalist, I wrote a lot about people losing their homes to foreclosure a few years ago during the mortgage meltdown. And people were living in their houses 2, 3, 4 years without paying the mortgage.
Yeah, during
because they made the laws in New York so strict.
Yeah.
Since the time that Michael got kicked out of his condo,
Right.
that you could literally stay there 4 years without paying.
And also because during the crisis they were just overloaded with all
Right.
of these cases, so the courts couldn't even see them. So until the court sees you, you're
But back then there was no line.
No.
It was like,
Straight
didn't
front.
pay, get out, bitch.
yeah,
See you later.
yeah. Oh, bye.